Oh boy, you'll never see me after this wing. I might have put too many.
Yeah, you.
I don't know. Okay.
Are you gonna?
Any other good
Are
questions?
you okay? Welcome to another episode of Raw Built, where the wings are hot and the Airbnb questions are even hotter.
Bingo, bango, bongo, you did it. Welcome back to another episode of Raw Bill. We only did that 15,000 times. Listen, I asked you to submit your most burning Airbnb questions, short-term rental questions, entrepreneurial questions, real estate questions, economy questions, and we are answering them Hot Ones Edition style. I'm joined here by my lovely wife. Thank you very much, babe. Kick us off into question number one.
All right, so this is our most mild question and wing. Easy question. Do you think people are turning back to hotels because of Airbnb fees?
Nope. Oh, that one's actually very good. Listen, this whole Airbnb fee thing has been blown way out of proportion. Everyone always likes to get mad about Airbnb fees. That's really good, actually. But no one ever gets mad about the fact that they pay $99 for a Ticketmaster ticket and then $10,117 for the Ticketmaster fee. It's ridiculous. And no one gets mad when you buy a movie theater ticket for $9 and the service fee is $2 to buy it online, when it should actually be a cheaper ticket because they don't have to pay minimum wage to the people that sell you tickets at the counter. No one complains about that. That's 20% of your ticket fee. But no, I do not think that people are turning their backs on Airbnb. We just took a trip to Kansas City with a total of 6 people, and our only option was really to stay at an Airbnb and hang out. And like, we would go out, we'd come back to the house, we would shower, we would drink beer, we would go back out. Then at night we hung out for like 2 hours in the same house, under the same roof, with a kitchen, with multiple bathrooms, all for like $200 a night. If we had rented 3 hotel rooms because it was basically 3 couples, that would be $200 a night that we would had to have paid had we rented hotels. So no.
Yeah, it just doesn't, like, you're staying in a hotel for different reasons than you're staying in Airbnb for the most part. Like, we stay in Airbnb because we need the extra rooms because we have kids. Like, we can't get a 2-bedroom hotel room. Like, that would make it work with our children. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, single traveler, hotel all day, group travel, you have to do Airbnb. Otherwise, like, you don't really get the full experience of traveling with groups of people, in my opinion.
Yeah,
unless
where
you
are
just
you
don't
gonna
want to hang out with
out?
other people, and that's totally fine too. Next, I think I can do this. Cut to 10 minutes later. That, I don't.
I'm set
I might
on.
I might have put too many.
Yeah, do you want one more or not?
I don't know.
What are you doing? All right. What are the pitfalls of buying land and building new construction, specifically in A-frame, in 2023? But I guess in general, probably also.
All right, so.
Maybe you should start the bites a little earlier.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared for this. I've never done this on camera.
But we did do it all as a group for my birthday this year. So can confirm have tasted all these wings. Don't really recommend doing it.
That's how much I love you guys. Not too bad. So far, so good. So here's the deal with new construction. It's all going to depend on your personal investment style. Basically, if you're hard pressed for cash flow at the moment, you should just go buy a property that's already built and go and cash flow on that now. If you're willing to sacrifice cash flow for the next like 12 to 24 months while you build a new construction, I would recommend going that route. And because you're buying it at cost and you're not buying it at someone else's premium, your overall mortgage expenses are going to be lower, meaning that you're going to be able to cash flow more than had you just went and bought that same house. So it really just comes down to, can you wait? If you can wait, you should build new construction. Pitfalls of it are really what I just said, which is it really does take 14 to 18 months to complete the new construction process because you have to find the land, you have to permit everything, you have to find a contractor, you have to make sure the contractor's doing a good job, you have to source all the tile and the materials, and then you have to check in and inspect and make sure that your timeline is actually being adhered to. So there's a lot more that goes into it. I guess my first deal was a new construction deal. Probably would have served me better to have some experience going into it, but nonetheless, I built my first tiny house in LA, Casita Conejo, Casa Mariposa. Those were all new construction builds and were the catalyst for what would eventually become a $10 million real estate portfolio. Did I answer the question?
I think so.
Great. Yeah, not too bad. I got this. I think I could do this.
Are you looking to pivot in strategies in case the economy gets worse?
Ooh, good. Starting to feel a little bit. Yes, okay. I actually just led a workshop on this very topic. I'm actually leading it again. So if you're interested in learning how I'm pivoting, I'll leave a link in the description down below. One is going to be I'm investing in more unique properties. I think that this is the way of the future for Airbnb, and 2023 is the year of the creative host. I'm going to be doing more midterm rental stays. So these are 30-day stays or more. The reason I like doing this is because it stabilizes a part of my short-term rental portfolio and brings me stable income. I'm going to be investing more in national parks because national parks are Mother Nature's Disneyland. 297 million people went to national parks in 2021. The actual population of the United States is 330 million people. So almost every single person in the United States in 2021 went. Granted, that was the year of the pandemic, but it just goes to show you how much traffic is going through these national parks. And even during recession destinations people still travel. I'm doing a lot more glamping. I'm currently working on like 100 units now throughout the country. Number 5 is rental arbitrage. Formerly, I was against rental arbitrage because I want people to acquire property and build their wealth that way. But because interest rates are so high, I now see that as a viable way for many of you to get in, especially since you can get in anywhere from $8,000 to $20,000 per door. And those are the main 5 ways that I'm pivoting and changing my strategy outside of just doing your typical normal like a short-term rental acquisition where you go, you put 20% down and you buy a property. Next. So far, so good. I don't know if I can hold it together. You know, maybe throw me a couple softballs moving forward here. Number 4.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, you loaded that one up.
How's that tasting?
Really good. I want to finish these because these are the ones that I can't eat in their entirety before everything.
Oh yeah, and they're actually good flavors before they just become painful.
This is by far the best one. Los Calientes is the best hot sauce ever, man.
When are you going to invest in Cabo? Taco emoji, beer emoji, Mexican flag emoji, tamale emoji.
Was it really all those emojis?
All those emojis.
Is that racist or no?
No, all those things can be found in Cabo.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Probably never. I'll never invest in a short-term rental internationally. I'm not gonna say never, but for now I'm saying never because running a successful short-term rental business in the United States is already hard enough. Automations, finding your dream team, finding people in your time zone, that's all stuff that's already pretty difficult in the United States. Add Mexico to the equation and now my dream team all communicates with me in Spanish, which I'm able to do because I speak Spanish un poquito. Yeah, I am. I'm relatively fluent, but it is a lot harder for me to speak in Spanish. Yo puedo hablar en español, pero prefiero hablar en inglés porque cuando hablo en español no sé los temas de real estate or negocio. Entonces prefiero hablar en inglés. Know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't really, but...
Have I taught you nothing? So really, when it comes to ease of operations, I think the dream team model works no matter what. I don't want to discourage you from ever investing internationally if that's something that you want to do. We've often talked about, hey, what if we owned a place in Copenhagen and we could Airbnb that? But ultimately, it would be much cheaper for me to just book an Airbnb in Mexico or in Copenhagen and go visit there whenever we want to versus ponying up a lot of money to figure out how to invest internationally and then overcoming the language barrier instead. So for now, I'm setting up operations in the United States, and that's where I plan to stay pretty much forever. Unless, you know, a host camper wants to buy a place in a different country and rent it all for me, then, you know, maybe. But
you'll
for now,
invest.
maybe.
Just a little tip out there for anyone.
For all my host
You
campers.
need a little investor
All my
outside
host
the
campers are
country.
gonna be like, wait, Rob, I want to buy a place in Bali. Next, not so bad. I got this. I'm a pro. I'm crushing this. This is number 5.
This is where they go downhill.
This is red. This is a red wing.
This is the Indian flavor, the masala one.
Okay.
I think.
Yes, that one's still pretty
That
good.
one's still
That's
good.
Masala ghost pepper.
Yeah, masala ghost pepper.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah. What entity type do you suggest for doing STRs? LLC, S corp, etc. Other.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer or an accountant. It's a spicy boy. That's a spicy boy. People get really tripped up on the LLC question. I got to do all of these. I'm only halfway. I'm scared. I am scared. Okay. I typically, when I'm buying conventionally, will buy in my personal name because you have to whenever you're going through like Fannie Mae, anything like that, like for a second home loan, for example. But whenever I'm buying an investment property with an investment loan, let's say a DSCR loan, a debt service coverage ratio loan, where they qualify you for that property based on the projected income that it'll bring on Airbnb, I always buy those through an LLC. In terms of the S corp election for tax purposes, all that kind of stuff, I don't personally do that. I don't really know why. Because my accountant has recommended other things and your accountant will recommend things to you based on your personal tax situation. So if you want to talk to my accountant, I'll leave the link down below. It's Matt Bontrager over at TrueBooks, who's really smart at this kind of thing.
How you feeling?
So far, it's getting there. It's the last one before it gets bad.
You're not gonna finish them out anymore once they get so spicy.
No, I'm genuinely hungry. Oh gosh.
What's the payout threshold in which you would not buy or invest in an Airbnb? 5, 6, 7 years?
Typically, the way that we calculate our investments, oh boy, is we want a 20% cash on cash return. It's the gold standard metric for Airbnb, and it basically measures how hard your money is working for you in a year's time. So the gold standard for Airbnb is a 20% return, meaning if you put $100,000 into your investment, you'd like to see $20,000 back in profit. That's a 20% cash on cash return, meaning your payback would be 5 years. That has always been my non-negotiable, wanting a 20% cash on cash return, 5 years. However, with the current economy and with how interest rates are at the moment, we're quickly starting to accept that 10 to 15% as a more standard rate of return for Airbnbs. So if you're looking at a 10% cash on cash return, that would be a payback of 10 years. Probably wouldn't go further back than that. So I would say between 5 to 10 years is a pretty good investment. If you're looking at it from a cash on cash perspective. No further questions, Your Honor. Okay. Well, it gets a little difficult there.
Are you gonna drink some milk or anything?
Not yet. I gotta save that milk. Oh boy. That's a saucy daddy.
It's rental arbitrage or buy houses with 80K capital.
With 80K capital, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
You don't have to eat the whole wing.
I know, I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know why I'm eating the whole thing. Okay, so basically, how many more are there?
A lot, babe.
3, okay, I got this. Basically, with $80,000, you have enough money to actually go out and buy a property. If you're thinking about putting 20% down, $80,000 is 20% of $400,000. That's a really perfectly great starter home to get into Airbnb. Starter home, a lot of people are like,
Starter home?
You've lost touch of reality.
Yeah,
That's how
you
much
can
my
get
house
a
is."
great house in lots of places for $400,000.
$400,000. Yeah, that's right. So with that said, you need money for closing costs and for furniture. So let's assume $20,000 total. So that really leaves you with $60,000, which is 20% of $300,000. That's your budget for buying an Airbnb. Perfect entry-level Airbnb, in my opinion. I don't think you should go the rental arbitrage route. I would only say that you go the rental arbitrage route if you have $5,000 to $20,000, and that's all you have to get started. If you have more than that and you can afford a home, I would go that route if you can qualify for the mortgage.
You sweating yet?
Nope. Oh boy. Oh God, no. I'm scared of this one. This is the one that.
Is this the bomb?
Is it the bomb?
Oh no.
Okay. Well, it was nice knowing you.
Oh.
Caleb, you've been an amazing editor, but an even better friend. Babe,
What about me?
I love you. You're an amazing mother. You're wonderful. I've always said, I hope you don't ever die, because I could never do it alone. But I'm sorry that
you're gonna
the
die.
opposite is gonna be true. You'll never see me after this wing. Okay.
Are all cost segregation studies made equal?
Oh, really? You choose that question? That's a complicated question. Are all?
I thought that might be easy. I don't know.
Oh boy. Are all cost segregation reports
Oh God.
created equal? Let me say this. There's a man that I know that would say they were. His name? Abraham Lincoln. I'm high just from this wing.
Drink the milk.
That's warm. That's warm. That is, how long has it been sitting there? All cost segregation reports are not created equal because when you're depreciating a home, you're not able to depreciate the land. You can only depreciate the improvement on the land. So if you were to run a cost segregation report on a property in, say, California, like our home in Los Angeles, the land is actually worth a lot more. In our particular instance, the land was worth 75% of the entire purchase price, meaning we could only cost seg the improvement, which is 25% of that. We got a very small cost seg from that specific property, but on the flip side, our property in Tennessee, the improvements were worth 90%. So we were able to actually take a way larger depreciation expense as a result. So whenever you're buying a property with the intent to run a cost segregation report to take advantage of the short-term rental loophole, I am sweating now.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Make sure that you're taking into consideration how much the land is worth respective to the actual building on the property. If you want a cost segregation report done so that you can offset your taxes or your W-2 taxes if you're a W-2 employee but you manage a short-term rental, we'll do that for you at strcostseg.com. We're taking beta users at the moment, and we've helped people save like 7 figures in taxes since we launched in like the last month. Next question, please.
Oh man.
I'm good. Ask another question. I'm ready.
Did you close on the Castle Rock Dome?
Oh, no, I did not. I did not because I went into escrow on the most amazing dome home ever. We'll show it right here. It was $1 million and I was going all in on this property. It was a big swing for me. I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but I felt really, really good about it. I ran the numbers and was set to gross between $200,000 and $230,000 per year. And on the high side, the profit was going to be $100,000, a 6-figure profit. And the day or two before we were set to close, financing fell through, which was a huge bummer for me because I'm America's most unlendable man, doing well financially, but banks don't care about that. What they care about is having stable income on your tax returns for 2 years before they ever think about giving you money, even though relative to the last couple of years, I'm doing relatively well. I said relatively twice, but I got hot sauce on the mind and mind on the hot sauce, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, last second, it fell out of escrow. I'm really bummed about it. It went into escrow from someone else, like swooped it up like
Oh really?
that same day.
Oh, I didn't realize that. The same day?
Yep. So people knew. People knew this was a special one. It was on Zillow Gone Wild. It had like 25,000 likes on there. It was on all these other articles and publications. I knew it was like my one crown jewel that was going to go viral and hit it and make a lot of money. But hey, you live and you learn. You never get married to the house until you've signed the documents.
That is the truth.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I'm good.
All right. Okay, when getting started, what are the applications needed to run your STR?
Okay. Yeah, that was Still spicy.
But nothing is as bad as the bomb.
Nope, what I just had was unbelievable.
Yeah, literally nothing.
So what they're asking is what apps and what platforms and services should you use when you launch an Airbnb? And I'm a big fan of trying to do it yourself for the first month before you automate anything. So basically this means you should be running all the messages. I think you should be kind of playing with pricing and find pricing that works. This one I think you can automate a little sooner than later. And I don't think you should automate your cleaning crew and your scheduling quite yet. I think you should develop a rapport before you try to automate and delegate that relationship out. So in terms of the apps and services that I use a few. I use Guesty for Hosts as my property management system. If you want to save money or get a free trial, I'll leave a link in the description down below. I use them since they were your porter. I've used them for many years. I like them. I recommend them. There are other really great platforms out there. Hospitable is great from my past experience with them. OwnerRez is also pretty good. There's a new one that I've got my eye on, which is Avivo. In terms of pricing, I use Price Labs, and I'm starting to move over to Wheelhouse, and that's for dynamic pricing. That application, I know I keep saying application, makes me feel like my dad's like, have you downloaded the latest application on your phone? Una aplicación, as he would say. What? Sorry. Right, dynamic pricing basically sets the optimal price point for your Airbnb based on the supply and demand on any given day. So if it knows that a lot of people are traveling to your area, it'll jack up the prices because it knows that demand is high but supply is low. And when it's the dead season, it knows to lower your prices because a lot of people aren't going there. They want to help you get booked. That's what I use for that front. And anything else, Clint? I use Hostfully for all of my digital guidebooks. And this compiles all the information, all the need to know information about a property, from really fun places to eat, to Wi-Fi information, to check-in instructions, check-out instructions, in the nearest hospital, and all that kind of stuff. Compiles it into one neat little digital guidebook. I send that PDF to my guests so that they read it and never ask me questions. So those are the ones that I use.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure they never ask you questions.
Right, well, the questions that they ask me are minimized because I've already answered them.
Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
Oh man, I think 100 duck-sized horses because
100%.
Yeah, because if you fought anything horse-sized, you will
A
literally
horse-sized
die.
duck has
Yeah.
a giant beak.
Exactly.
Little tiny horses, those
Like-
are adorable.
Right?
I would love 100 duck-sized horses.
I just last dabbed this.
That's a lot of dabbing you're doing.
Is it?
Yeah, you already last dabbed it.
Okay, sorry.
Don't do anymore.
Okay, do you have a question for me?
Chloe asked, I missed it along the way. What city is HostCon potentially going to be this year?
Oh, softball. We actually just went to the hotel that I think we're going to be locking down here in Houston, Texas. HostCon is going to be October 29th and 30th, right? Yeah, like we think.
Yes, in Houston. Yes.
In Houston, Texas, yeah. It'll all be over before Halloween. Don't worry, you'll get to go as like a very wholesome nurse and like a very conservative kitten, you know. Next question, give me another one. It's a softball.
That was a softball, but it's a spicy wing, so.
Oh boy, all right. Last dab. Woo! That I don't.
I'm set
I might have put too many.
Yeah, do you want one more or not?
I don't know.
What are you doing?
Okay.
Are you okay? I'm set on not raising outside money. Cash out refi and just take the interest rate hit.
Yeah, that's a good question, and I'm glad you asked it. Let me tell you. I think
Good finale.
there's a thing called return on equity. And effectively what it is if you have equity in a house, it's doing nothing for you other than raising your theoretical net worth. It's a number on a piece of paper. What you should be doing is taking that money through a cash out refi and reinvesting it into another investment like real estate that will provide a return on the money that you cashed out. So yes, you're gonna pay more in interest by doing so, but you're also getting a big glob of money in return that will hopefully return more money than you're paying in interest. That's how I would think of it. So yes, it's never good to give up a nice, beautiful interest rate. My interest rate on my house in Los Angeles, California is 3.25%. I hate giving that up. We're actually working through a cash out refi possibly on that property. Ultimately, let's think about this. Ultimately, it's worth it because we'll make more money in the long run having used that equity in our favor in an investment versus just letting it sit there. Sitting equity means nothing. Keep deploying your capital, keep making money, you know? Stop getting scared about the Airbnb bust and the economy as it stands. Stop telling yourself you can't do this. Stop getting scared about the actual rising interest rates and figure out how to make more money than the rising interest rates, because the only reason that you're not doing anything is because you're a You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I just think that you're holding yourself back with your beliefs. And if you're smart and you invest strategically and consistently over time, you may not make as much money in these next couple of years, but if you did it consistently, 30 years from now, you're gonna look like a genius for having invested in real estate in 2023 and seen.
Anything you want to plug before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I do actually. I have a 5-day challenge that I'm running called the Launch Your Listing Challenge. You can go to launchyourlisting.com, and it's gonna be a 5-day challenge from June 11th through 16th, where every single day we're gonna go live and I'm gonna show you everything there is to know about Airbnb. Every single day we're gonna talk about a new topic ranging from taxes to automations to picking a strategy to picking a market to how to get into Airbnb without even owning property and using other people's property to get into the game. In total, you're looking at 1 to 2 hours of commitment for this live event. And every single day, by the end of the 5 days, I'm gonna train you to be a rock star in this game so that you feel 100% confident to launch your listing. So go to launchyourlisting.com to get your ticket. We've already sold out like 30% of it, which is crazy because we just launched it a week ago. Probably by the time that this video is live, we'll be 50% or 60% sold out. And I hope to teach you how to do this. And if you don't wanna do it, that's fine too. Don't do it. I'll catch you on the next episode. Rob, no, but do it. I want to teach you how to do this. It's not as bad as you think.
Wait, I want to close it out.
You want to close it out?
Yeah.
I thought I already did. That was such a good.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
That was it? That was your closing? Bye.